tonight we have a story about a woman with extraordinary abilities, a haunting visit to an old industrial unit, and the terrifying consequences of meddling with restless spirits. So dim the lights, settle in, and prepare yourself for Shadows of the Past. Clara had always known she was different. From a young age, she could see and hear things others couldn't. As she grew older, her mediumship abilities became stronger, guiding her towards helping lost spirits find peace. However, her latest visit would push her abilities to the limit and change her life forever. One gloomy afternoon, Clara received a call from the owner of an industrial unit nestled near the secluded hill. The owner, Mr. Thompson, had experienced unsettling occurrences, strange noises, cold spots, and a persistent sense of being watched. Desperate for a solution, he turned to Clara for help. Clara arrived at the industrial unit as the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape. The building stood silent and foreboding, its walls bearing the weight of years of neglect. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what lay ahead, and stepped inside. Let's see what we're dealing with. The air inside was thick with dust and the scent of old machinery. Clara moved through the dimly lit hallways, her sense on high alert. As she approached the back room, she noticed a shadowy figure lingering in the doorway. The figure seemed to flicker like a candle flame in the wind. "Who are you? What do you want?" The shadow did not respond, but Clara felt an overwhelming sense of sorrow and anger emanating from it. She continued walking, following the feeling of heavy energy that seemed to pull her deeper into the building. When she entered the main room, the atmosphere became almost unbearable. The air was thick, making it hard to breathe. Waves of emotions, grief, rage, despair crashed over her, nearly bringing her to her knees. This place is filled with so much pain. Determined to help, Clara closed her eyes and focused on channeling her energy to communicate with the spirits. She could see glimpses of their lives, workers who had suffered accidents, a man who had lost his family, and others who died tragically. She pleaded with them to move towards the light to find peace. Suddenly, Clara felt a shift in the energy. The spirits, instead of moving on, began to resist. Their whispers grew louder, angrier. Shadows gathered around her, their forms growing more distinct and menacing. Clara's heart raced as she realised the spirits had no intention of leaving. They had grown powerful and vengeful, feeding off each other's anger and despair. As she backed away, she caught sight of something outside the building. Through a cracked window, she saw a woman in a bridal gown standing on the edge of the hill. The woman's wail pierced the air, a sound so haunting it sent chills down Clara's spine. She looked like a banshee, her sorrowful cries echoing through the night. "What do you want from me?" The spirits began to close in on her, their collective presence overwhelming. Clara tried to protect herself, but their energy was too powerful. They invaded her mind, their anger and sorrow flooding her thoughts. She could feel herself losing control, her own emotions being drowned out by theirs. Clara's vision blurred as the spirits took over, their voices blending into a symphony of torment. She screamed, but no sound came out. Her body moved against her will, driven by the collective force of the spirits. She was no longer herself, her mind shattered by the relentless assault. In the days that followed, Clara's behaviour became erratic and violent. Her friends and family watched helplessly as she spiralled into madness. Desperate to help her, they had her committed to a secure psychiatric ward. But no amount of treatment could reach her. She was a prisoner in her own mind, tormented by the spirits that had taken over. The industrial unit remained abandoned, a place of darkness and despair. People in the town whispered about the haunted buildings and the woman who tried to cleanse it. Some claimed to see her wandering the grounds at night, her eyes hollow and empty, a warning to those who dared disturb the spirits. So, dear listeners, if you ever find yourself near an old abandoned building, remember Clara's story. Some places are filled with sorrow and anger, and the spirits within may not want to be disturbed. It's a chilling reminder that some forces are beyond our understanding and control. Thank you for joining me for this harrowing tale. It's a stark reminder that some spirits are not at rest, and that the consequences of disturbing them can be dire. Until next time, dear listeners, stay safe and keep your lights on.
Thanks for tuning in to tonight's chilling tale, but the hauntings don't have to end here. If you love ghost stories and crave even more spine-tingling content, why not unlock the other side? Join our exclusive membership for bonus episodes, behind-the-scenes extras, and much more. The link is waiting for you in the description below. And do you have a story of your own? Something that keeps you up at night? Share your experience through the links in the description. You might just hear your own story being featured on upcoming episodes. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow ghost story lovers, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a shadow in the dark. Stay spooky, and we'll see you on the other side.